right. What is up, everybody? It's Bart Johnson here, and once again, it is Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, which used to, a long while ago, mean that we were going to have our weekly live stream, and luckily, those days are here again. So as many of you know, it had been a while since I had been on and getting the streams going, but we had one last Saturday, and it was at an irregular time, but here we are, regular time, regular day, getting back to the streams. It's good to be back. I think I got everything all running smoothly today. We had some technical difficulties last week, but that is expected when you are running anything brand new, which this office is new. New-ish. It's similar to what it was, when we were in this house almost a year ago. But yeah, it has been redesigned. I've got a new setup. I'm working out kinks and all that stuff. Basically, I wanted to hang out with you guys today and show you a little bit of this office / edit suite / desktop streaming setup that I have here. The downstairs studio is not ready for primetime streaming just yet, but we'll get streams coming out of there very soon. But yeah, let's dive right in. The beauty of this is really just kind of hanging out with you guys. So we got our live chat going here. Let's pull that up on the screen here. So here we go. We've got our live chat up here. And who have we got in here? Jason Popov, good to see you. Hello from Greece. Akis, welcome. Kevin, the basic filmmaker unscripted. Yeah, I was just over in his stream that he was doing. I guess you wrapped it up at an hour. Either that or you're cheating and still streaming and chatting in mine at the same time. But good to see you. And Mohammed, good to see you as well. Welcome everyone. If you are here live and you have something to say or want to hang out and just shout out or whatever, pop it into the chat, because that really is the fun of the live streams, is we get to hang out. So this live stream is going to be kind of free form and all of that, but I did want to, I don't want to always just every week just do a just hang out kind of one. I like to have a little bit of a theme to it, and so I figured I'd show you guys around this new office and what we got. Rob, oh, my man Rob there with the super chat for the plaque fund. Yes. He's gonna run this show for me just right there. So what Rob is talking about is that over the past several months, all of the super chats from these live streams, anybody who has super chatted, I have recorded their username, and will be mounting a plaque down in the studio for everyone who has donated funds via super chat to getting the new studio back up and running, which it is so close. It is amazing. It looks great. I just have some wiring stuff that we need to finish up to really get live streaming out of there. But it's gonna be great. So Rob, thank you very much. You've been a huge supporter in that. And actually, I wonder if I can pull it up, if it'll work. Oh, I didn't reset my key there, but here, I had made a mock-up. There it is. There's my mock-up of of our studio rebuild donators. I know there's only a couple on there because I started doing this and then disappeared from YouTube for about 3 months. So I didn't give people a whole lot of time to do it, but this was just our fun little thing. I'll be getting a real life version of this that will be going up down in the studio. So thank you to all you guys. Of course, no pressure. I don't expect people to donate. That's not why I do these live streams and all of that. It was just kind of a fun little thing to do for all of you who are nice enough to support the channel. So thank you again. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to show you guys we're back in the house. Obviously, I revealed that last week. We've been back about a month. Still a lot of unpacking to do. Even after a fire, you'd be surprised how much stuff you still have. And of course, I've been ordering stuff left and right now that we're back here to using that insurance money and getting all of our our stuff put back together and redesigned and all that. Actually, I had to rush out just for the stream because more stuff from B&H. Can't leave a B&H package untouched. I think it's just cables, so I'm not going to open it. It's not super interesting, guys. But yeah, so I'm going to show you guys this office space. If you have any questions about anything in here, I've put a lot of stuff in the links down below, so you can check those out. But I'm just going to kind of walk you guys through this here. So you probably can see a lot of the office right now. So obviously I'm in a small room that serves as my office / editing suite. And also when I do live streams that involve showing stuff on the computer, usually, I'll do them up here. So like I did editing tutorials and stuff like that. So that's what this space is primarily going to be used for. I am now full-time freelancer, no more full-time job. Thanks, COVID. But yeah, so I do a lot of work and a lot of editing in this space right here. So let me give you guys a quick look behind the scenes here, give you a little reverse angle. So here we go. Let's pop the chat off of there so you can see it. But here you go, guys. You can see basically what I've got in front of me. So I've got a triple monitor setup here. I am running a new Mac Pro. Let me see if I can get my face on here too. Oh, no, I didn't put it in there. But I did pick up a 2019 Mac Pro, which I have down under this desk here. Sorry, it's hard to talk to that camera and the mic at the same time. I didn't think this through. But it is running this triple monitor setup. And then I have all my accessories and stuff. And there is a buttload of cables and wiring hidden underneath this desk. I'll see if I can show that to you guys in a little bit. But let's get back to our Cam A and bring our chat back up. Let's see here. Cables are awesome from Captain Jack. Yeah, I certainly have a bunch of them, I'll tell you that. Jason's asking, how are you running your mic? I guess that's a good place to start. We'll talk about the mic. Akis donating 5, what are those, euros? Thank you very, very much. That's awesome. Appreciate the super chat. And you know what? There's still time. That'll get you up on the plaque, my friend. So I will make sure to get you on there. Captain Jack, yeah, laughing at the cables are awesome. But so yeah, so I live stream up here, I edit up here. Obviously it's a beast of an editing workstation. You know, that new Mac Pro, I've got a, you know, it's a 12 core, 3.3. What is my specs actually? I want to get this right about this Mac. There we go. Yeah. So I've got the, 3.3 gigahertz 12 core, processor, 128 gigs of RAM, and that AMD Radeon Pro Vega 2 32 gigabyte graphics card. I didn't max this thing out, obviously, because it can get pretty overkill pretty quick. This is probably a bit more than I need for most things right now, but the idea is that I don't want to buy another system for a long time, and this will future-proof me with all that RAM and all that, and I still have the ability, if I want to in the future, add another graphics card to it. But yeah, so I'm not going to just sit here and drool over the Mac Pro, although it is an awesome machine. But so Jason was asking about running my mic. So I talked about this mic a little bit in the previous stream because this is new for me. I previously usually would just clip myself up with a lav mic and run it that way. But a lot of other YouTubers, Kevin, the basic filmmaker included, run this Shure SM7B, and actually it might be a little hot right now. Let me turn it down. And I really like the sound of it, and what it does to the voice. It's got a little bit more richness and depth, and I wanted to try it out. So I have my Shure SM7B here mounted on a Rode PSA-1 arm that's just sort of clamped to my desk, and it is an XLR microphone. So I have an XLR cable running out, and actually it runs around the back, and it runs over to, let me get the chat off of there. It runs over to this right here. So this is my audio interface mixer. This is it's a Behringer X802 USB. So it's a USB interface mixer. Let me see if I can give you guys a better look at this. I was playing with the NDI on my iPhone. Let's see what we got here. Give me just a sec, guys. Sorry, I know you're looking at nothing. I shouldn't have switched to it yet. Oh, I jumped the gun. Where's my NDI app? Let's pull it up. Here we go. I was getting pretty laggy on this earlier, guys, so... yeah, I don't know why it's being super laggy. I'm still working on all the networking and everything in this house, guys. So, yeah, this is just not cooperating right now. Here's my dirty iPad. Oh, what a beautiful looking shot. But here you go. Here, let me pull the chat up to complete the screen. So you can kind of see there, this is the Behringer mixer that I'm using. And I run the computer into it. I run my Shure SM7B into it. And I also have inputs coming in from what will be connected to the studio downstairs. And then I also have outputs to my speakers up here. So I'm running everything through that. And if you can see in the back here, I needed another... Stop. We don't need to see all that. Anyway, back there, if you can kind of see it, there's a device called a cloud lifter. Sorry, this is so janky. But the Shure SM7B actually... Let's get back to this. The SM7B actually... is a very gain hungry microphone, I found out, because it's not powered. So basically what that means is you need some sort of audio interface that can boost its levels, feed it that gain. But the problem with that a lot of times is that you'll induce noise as you try and increase it too much, especially if you try to do it just in the software. You know, OBS and Streamlabs OBS has... you know, you can tweak the gain in there, but it'll get noisy. You really want it coming in as clean as possible. The SM7B runs via an XLR cable to that cloud lifter device. The cloud lifter adds, I think it's something like 28 dB of gain to it, and then it goes into my Behringer. And the Behringer actually has pretty good preamps in it as well, and I can crank it just a little bit so that I really don't have to push it anywhere in this stream, and it comes through sounding nice and rich and clean. So hopefully that's coming through and it's sounding good. But that's how I set it up. And if you want to know more, I'm sorry the NDI is being weird on my phone, but I do have links to the mixer, to the cloud lifter, to the mic, to basically the whole setup. I have all that stuff in the description down below. Let me see what we got going on here. Captain Jack says, awesome workstation. Thank you very much. I've put a lot of work into it and customized it, and it has pretty much everything that I need. Lewis is saying, how has work-life balance been for you during this pandemic? Well, that's interesting. Definitely been a lot more life than work. And for multiple reasons. One, my full-time job that I'd been with for almost 7 years, we would do video production for conferences, and obviously there were no conventions or conferences happening. So unfortunately, I guess about a month ago, just before we moved back, I got let go from that job just because there wasn't any work. But that has also led to then me diving more into my own thing. I've always had this company, but it was kind of like a side thing. Now I'm full-time into that, and I actually have been doing a ton of shooting. I've been out on a ton of political ads and that kind of stuff. Not getting political today. No. But yeah, so it's been more life than work, but I'm trying to get it back to a balance, meaning I want more work. But yeah. Let's see here. Kevin's saying SM7B, nice, eh? Yeah, I am liking it so far. I think I can probably do a little tuning to make it like tuned to my voice, but that's beyond my capabilities. Kevin says, only problem with my setup was using a crappy XLR cable. Spent hours trying to figure out what was happening. Bad cables sucked. I was having some issues with noise coming through this and electrical hum, and I did swap out a cable because I was adapting a cable to another cable, and I was like, screw it, just get one cable that's the right length, and it managed to fix it. So yeah, sometimes it can be something as simple as a cable. Kind of a pain in the butt, but hopefully we get it all figured out. Bad Karma's in here. I'm getting married tomorrow. Wish you all could come. Dude, that's awesome. Congratulations. Yeah, you should live stream it so then we can all be there, you know? Oh, think about it. You ask her though. Yeah, don't just do it. But yeah, congratulations, man. That's fantastic. Trevor's in here, says, after a few weeks break, you're right back in there. How long has it been? Trevor, it was about 3 months that I hadn't been streaming up until last week. So, yeah, I'm glad to be back and still working some kinks out and perfecting everything. But we're getting there. It's all coming together. Kevin says, I had Alan Williams sound speeds make my cables. I can run those suckers directly over to... Oh, very cool. Over charging cords. Yeah, it's always tricky to isolate your audio cables from electrical cables. Actually, I have done, for that reason in this setup, if I switch back to that B-cam angle, let me pull the chat off of there. So I know you can't really see it. It's not the greatest, but this cable actually goes on top of the desk and behind the monitors and comes down, while all of my other cables for everything run through the desk, and I have a huge maze of cables all up under here. And with hard drives and USB cables and all that kind of stuff running under there, it was just inviting audio issues. So what I did was I have the audio cables running isolated up top. There's still a few things up there, obviously, you know, the monitor's got to plug in, but for the most part, yeah. So actually, you guys can kind of see here. This will give you the opportunity to kind of see how like what I see and how I set up my screens and everything here. So I've got, actually, I forgot to do that, so we'll do that in a second, but I have our weekly poll up there, which I'll share with you guys in just a second. Main screen here, I'm using Streamlabs OBS to run everything. It's working this week. It wasn't last week. Then I've got our chat window up here, so I can see all your guys' lovely chats in there. And then I'm keeping an eye on the stream health and activity and everything over here, so I can make sure that we're looking pretty good. It's funny, YouTube is saying that my streaming bitrate is too high because I cranked it way up. I wanted to see how high I could go. So, all right, let's get back in here. All right, so before I forget, guys, I know it's been a crazy week, crazy time in the world, in the United States in particular, with election stuff. Not going to get into all that. I know that there's developments even today, that whatever. I'm not going to get into that because it's just a rabbit hole of craziness. But there's been a lot of stress and strain and stuff that we were worrying about. So I wanted to have a little fun with this week's poll, because I don't like... Oh, Amazon's notifying me that I need to reorder Red Bull. Thank you. But... I wanted to have fun with the poll. So once again, not filmmaking related necessarily, but definitely nerd related. As you guys can probably see, I like a lot of nerd stuff. I have the Avengers right here, circling up, and back there I have a ton of different Marvel, Star Wars movie things, like just toys. I'm a big kid, but because of that, I'm rambling. This is this week's poll. I want to know which one is best, and I know them's fighting words right there. But yeah, it's which one? Which one are you all about? Is it Star Wars, Star Trek, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Marvel, or DC? And I'm not just talking movies. I'm talking about like whole like universe, world, like that kind of stuff. Like, are you a Trekkie? Are you like, you know, whatever? But anyway, I am posting this into the chat. So there you go. I've posted the straw poll link into the chat. Feel free to pop in there and go ahead and vote during this live stream here. And if you're not able to catch us live but you're watching the replay, go ahead and hop in there too. It's a fun little thing, and I always leave these live so that we can take a look at the results, and we'll check out the results again at the end of the stream, and see which one is best. I know, like I said, them's fighting words, right? All right, answer a few more questions, and we'll continue on with some of the streaming setup that I've got going here. We'll talk cameras, and then getting the feeds into the software next. Let's see here. Trevor's saying, so the house is all finished. The house is construction-wise finished. Decorating, DIY projects, unpacking, buying the stuff that we lost back, far from it. We got a lot to do. Yeah, but I mean, we are back in it. We're home, and yeah, we're getting there. So it's good to be back. Let's see here. Pat Carver saying, I am going to video it and post it. Okay, so we'll get to be there after the fact. But yeah, enjoy your day, man. Don't stress about it. I remember my wedding day. It goes by like that. Like there's so much happening, and it's just crazy. And then afterwards, you're like, whoa, what happened? Where'd it go? Let's see here. Kevin says, it seems funky, but if you close the YouTube window on the right, you'll get better bandwidth. You can choose the stats window in OBS to see stream live. Interesting. I'll look into that. I didn't want to mess with anything else after last week's complications. And even this week, some of you guys may have noticed the original link that I tweeted out was dead because Streamlabs OBS and YouTube, for some reason, are not cooperating right now. I specifically clicked do not auto start when I start feeding info to YouTube. Because I like to start the stream and make sure that I'm getting a reliable connection and everything about 30 minutes before, and just let it stream. And then I just click go live in YouTube and it goes live. But I did that this time and it started going live. And I was not looking forward to trimming off 30 minutes of elevator music at the beginning of this show. And thank goodness I was on that screen. I mean, what if I was sitting here like picking my nose or something and all of a sudden just went live? but yeah, so that threw me off a little bit. But I will look into that, closing that and getting better bandwidth. We do have gigabit here, and I am hardwired. So oh, my wife's home. We are hardwired and to gigabit, so I do have, I think, more bandwidth than YouTube could even handle if I gave it all. Let's see here. And Kevin's asking about the on-air sign tied into streaming or just on. This guy over here, it is actually just on. So what it is I probably could find a way to trigger that, like with some sort of device, like if this then that, like code something so that it would go on. But it's actually just a cheapo little thing that had little tungsten, little incandescent bulbs in it that I got on eBay a long time ago. And what I did was I took it apart and put some little white LED strips in it. I need to hide the cable and tuck it around again. It's a little messy at the moment, but I thought it was pretty cool, considering this is usually where I'm streaming from. Little on-air sign. But yes, it's always on. I'm always on air. Someone's always watching. That's probably true these days. Who knows? All right. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about the camera that I am using. Kevin's asking about the on-air sign link. Unfortunately, the seller, I haven't been able to find it again because I had one in the basement as well that said recording. And obviously I lost that one in the fire, and I couldn't find this same seller with these products again to get another one. So you might need to just do a search on eBay for these kind of signs and see if you can find one that's reasonably priced. Some of them are really expensive, which is why I kind of like jerry-rigged my own with LEDs. But yeah. So cameras. The main camera that I use, at least in this situation, this setup here, is I have a Panasonic G7. Panasonic G7 is a fantastic like streaming webcam, replacement camera. It's 4K, although I'm not using 4K. I'm just taking the 1080 out of it, but it's a 4K sensor, so you've got some good quality there. Micro Four Thirds, but it's just simple, reliable, good-looking Panasonic image, and it just stays permanently mounted. Let me show you how I have that up there. Let me pull the chat. So here you go. I have it permanently mounted up here. There's actually a big old magic arm that goes down that I have bolted to a stud in the wall to hold it up. And it has a power cable, so it's got a dummy battery in there, so it's always powered up. I literally never shut it off. And then an HDMI out, which is running into a Camlink 4K from Elgato. Some of my favorite little USB capture sticks. They're awesome. And that comes into the computer then. The lens I have on here is actually a Rokinon 14 millimeter. Full manual, so I have to adjust the focus. I think we're actually at the closest focus it's capable of, but I do have just a dumb adapter on there. I think, yeah, because it's EF mount, and obviously that's a Micro Four Thirds camera. So that is the primary camera that I use in this setup. And you can find these things for like $500, I think. I do have links down in the description below. And even if it's just like a webcam replacement, now that everybody is, having to stream and telework and all that stuff from home, I'm sure Zoom calls aplenty and all that. It's a great solution. So Panasonic G7 into Elgato Camlink 4K, all links down below. And that then comes into the computer via USB. The Camlink converts the HDMI to USB. It's just plug and play, and it goes and comes right in. So that is how I handle the primary camera there. But you will notice that today I actually have a second camera up, and that was this angle right here. And I brought this in. This is actually my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K that I just brought in and set up behind me just to get this angle for today's shoot. And the way that I'm running this in, I'm not actually using two cam links. I actually have HDMI coming out of that camera and an HDMI cable running directly to the computer, because in the computer, in the Mac Pro, now that they have PCIe slots, just like PCs and other computers, finally a Mac we can customize. I put a Blackmagic Decklink Mini Recorder 4K. That name is terrible, but yeah. So basically, I have a dedicated Blackmagic capture card in the computer. It takes both SDI and HDMI in. So right now I'm using the HDMI, and the HDMI goes right in, and then I can have that as another source. So I have an internal card, and then I have a sort of external capture card in the Camlink 4K. And when we get the basement studio set up, that's actually how that's going to come into this computer. So it's going to run up. I'm going to have HDMI signals coming all the way up, and then they'll connect directly into that Blackmagic card. And so then I'll be able to send the stream from the powerful computer up here, even though all the video sources are coming from down in the studio in the basement. It's going to be pretty cool if it works. It should work. Fingers crossed, but we'll get there. That'll be coming soon. So make sure you're staying tuned, because I think I don't know that I've ever seen anybody do the setup the way that I'm figuring out how to do it. We'll see. So yeah, so those are the capture cards that I'm bringing in, and then let me show you. Obviously, you need some sort of software. A lot of people are doing hardware streaming, of course, with the A10 Mini Pro. I see it being praised left and right. I know it's great. But I've still kind of chosen to go with software streaming, software encoding. Part of the reason is that I have really powerful hardware, with the Mac Pro. But if you have a computer that, maybe the CPU isn't as powerful, then streaming conversions, your computer is taking that, processing the video, and pumping it out at the same time, and it can be pretty intensive on your computer. So you can fine tune and tweak it and see what you can do. But let me show you my main screen here. We're going to get a little bit of Inception going. But here you go. This is my Streamlabs OBS. It is just like regular OBS, except they've modified it and put some extra bells and whistles and stuff, some alerts and some other things that it can do. I like it. But yeah, so I have everything in here, all my little scenes that I've built and put together, and this is what I use to stream. And again, you can see I have our chat window up here right there. Streamlabs OBS, free, just like traditional OBS. And if you know how to use traditional OBS, I mean, it's an absolute piece of cake. They are literally built on the same framework. And actually, if you do have an OBS setup, you can directly import your scenes and everything from OBS into Streamlabs OBS. It's pretty cool. Really, what this gives me is it gives me some of those extras, like when somebody subscribes or super chats and you see that stuff pop up on the window. Let me do a test here. So if I go, it'll subscriber. So there you go. See, it's like, oh, Bart Johnson Productions just subscribed. That kind of stuff is automated and built into Streamlabs OBS. So I kind of liked having it for that. And of course, you can switch between any of these scenes by just going. So like, all right, I want to go back to main camera. I can click, and we're back to the main camera here. So software control. Very similar to what you'd get in a hardware switcher. I just kind of like the flexibility, and I got started on OBS and really designing the graphics and scenes and overlays and all that kind of stuff in there. And so when I wanted to get a little fancier, Streamlabs OBS looked like the one for me. But yeah, so that's what I'm using for that. Hello from Spain. Hello. Welcome. Good to have you. We got a couple people from all over the place here today. That's great. I always love seeing people coming in from an international audience. Really appreciate it. But the other thing I wanted to show you guys is you may notice that I'm not sitting here that entire time going and clicking in Streamlabs OBS to change my scenes. I actually have an interface right here. Let me ditch the chat. Interface right here. This is the Elgato Stream Deck XL. So they have 3 models of this. They have a mini, they have the regular one, and then they have this big guy, the XL. And what it is just a whole bunch of buttons with little LCD screens behind them, and you can customize these buttons to do pretty much anything. I actually did a video specifically, actually it was a live stream, talking about this and some of my other editing control surfaces that I have up here. But this thing is amazing. I can use it to control Premiere. I can use it to pull up websites. I can use it to do hotkey commands on my computer in general. But I can also use it to switch scenes and change stuff here in OBS and in Streamlabs OBS. And so all I have to do is just tap a button. So I've set these up and programmed them. I can go ahead and just tap a button, take us to Cam B. Yep, goes right to Cam B. Go to Screen A. There you go. And as you can see here, I have it placed just in the perfect spot right here where I don't have to move very much. I can go ahead and just click start and stop. I can kill my mic. I have a mic mute. Or you can't hear me. Now you can hear me. But yeah, so you can make whatever you want in this. And the OCD in me went through and designed my own little icons, just in Photoshop, and made my own icons for everything. So when I glance down at it, I know visually as well, like which button I'm looking for. So yeah. And actually, I might need to update it, but over on my website, if you go to the For Filmmakers tab and then go to downloads, actually, let me pull that up for you. So, Screen B, yeah. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. I talked about it a little bit last week. My website is mostly for clients hiring me, but I did make a for filmmakers section. And if you go in here, there's a free download section. And here you go. I do need to update this and add some more, but I added a bunch of the icons that I made. So if you do have a Stream Deck and you wanted to steal some of the icons that I use and that I created, you can download these packs. And I'll get this updated and put some more packs in there because I've definitely expanded it with a lot of different buttons and controls. But yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. So this is always in here for you guys. I'm going to be trying to add a lot more stuff to this. We talked about it last week, but now that I am fully self-employed, some of my new ventures, I am a reseller for Nisi filters. So I have a store on here. If you guys are interested in checking out some filters, you guys can order them directly through me. And I am going to have a lot more content actually coming with some of these filters as well. So I'm not just pitching them. I do actually use them. And then the other big thing I've been doing is, kits. So if you go to me on kit.com, I've actually put together a lot of kits so that you guys can quickly and easily go through and see the gear that I use and that I recommend. And actually, if we go into live streaming, here's a lot of the things that we're talking about today. You know, the Stream Decks, you got the Cam Link, you got the mics, the Cloud Lifter, all that stuff. Actually, everything we're talking about today is pretty much in here. There's the Deck Link mini recorder. But yeah, so all that's in there. Links are down in the description below to these directly, but if you do want to check out the kits, I also have a link to those down there so you guys can check those out. All right, shameless promotion aside. Actually, it's not shameless promotion. I think it's actually a really helpful resource for you guys too, to not have to ask and search and what do you use for this and what do you use for that and all that. Like, if I can put everything in one spot for you, then you're good to go. So really working on putting those together. All right, Trevor's in here. He says, I'm sure this is all much nicer running through the Mac Pro. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have a beast of a machine handling this, which is why I'm still one of the few people, I think, who actually sticks with software-based encoding rather than something like an A10 Mini Pro or an Epiphan Pearl. Those are super expensive, the Epiphans. But those are hardware encoders because they do the video processing internally there so that your system that you're connected to really doesn't have to worry about any heavy lifting. It just kind of manages the interface and gives it a connection to the internet pretty much. So yes, the Mac Pro is good, but I used to do streams before on my 2013 27-inch iMac. So you don't need this. This is not a requirement. Really, the reason I have this powerful of a machine is for editing purposes. To edit, 4K and 6K footage, and to run multiple programs simultaneously on all three of my screens and all of that. That's really why I needed the horsepower. The nice thing is that, processing power is processing power. So whether you need it for, encoding and exporting and rendering videos, or if you need it for compressing streams for live streaming, it's the same engine that's required. So yeah, you don't have to have a beast of machine to go crazy with it. And actually, I need to do some learning myself because I'm sure I could optimize the quality of this stream. Sometimes it looks a little soft and a little funky to me, and so I'm gonna dive into that, and we're gonna make this stream crispy. We're gonna get it going there. Jason's asking, have you ever tried Companion? I haven't, but it has been recommended to me before. So I believe it's another interface. Is it an application or is there hardware involved with it too? It's similar to the Stream Deck, in that sense. I think is it just software? Let me know. But I have not, but I have heard it. And Trevor says Nisi makes good stuff. Yeah. So I was really happy. I had been using Nisi filters particularly their variable ND filters on my cameras for a while, and they actually reached out and connected with me and asked me if I wanted to review actually a new filter they had coming out. So that was their Allure Streak Blue, and I did a video about that. It's pretty cool. Gives that sort of anamorphic flare look without obviously being an anamorphic lens. I'll put a link down in the description down below. I know it's not there yet, but it will be after this show wraps. Or you can just search on the channel, it's in there. But so then I talked with them a little bit more, and we connected up, and they want me to do some more content, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. That'd be great. So yeah. That's all. Sorry, I just got a text. But yeah, that's basically how that came about, and I'm looking forward to reviewing more of their filters because, like I said, I want to make sure that everything that I put on my website is stuff that I have used and recommended. I don't just go like blanket brand. So I've got a lot of stuff coming from them so that I can play with all their filters and check all that stuff out. Let's see what we got here. Companion is using the Stream Deck. It uses the Stream Deck. Okay. I'll have to look into that. Is it Companion? Gamepad Companion? Is that what it is? I'm not sure. I'll have to look and try and find it, Jason. Let me know where I can particularly find it. I don't think it'll let you post. It won't let you post a link in the chat, but I'll have to look into that and see. Needed a sip of water there. But yeah. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want to see. I mean, there's tons of stuff I could talk about in terms of how I've got everything set up for video editing. I've got banks of hard drives and Drobo storage and all of my card readers I actually keep mounted. They're right up here under the lip of the desk, and they're all wired in the back and going down, so I could just plug my cards right in. I don't have to search for a card reader anywhere. I just like having everything set up and good and ready to go. And so far it's been pretty good. I mean, it is a crazy setup underneath the desk, the rat's nest of cables and everything. But I spent days, literally days, doing the cable management down there to keep it clean. It's clean and tidy where you can see it. When it gets to out of view, it's like, but it's where you can see it, it looks clean. But yeah. So there you go, guys. I know this wasn't super in depth. I'm not here to, give you a streaming tutorial, but really wanted to give you guys just kind of an update and a look around at the new office, the new setup, the new workstation and edit suite up here, and how I've put that together. And really, it was just an excuse to hang out with you guys again in chat. So if you got anything, any other questions about anything, either that I mentioned on here and that you saw and had questions about, or anything else, please let me know. Let's see here. What I want to do, we're getting a little down here. I want to check the results of our straw poll. So if you got, actually, maybe I'll put one more chance. Here you go. I'm going to do one more chance out here. There you go. There is the straw poll. If you haven't voted yet, make sure to pop in there because you got about 15 seconds before we start sharing the results of the straw poll. It's a fun one this week. Make sure to check that out. Jason says, okay, bitfocus.io. Okay, I'll look that up for sure and explore that. That's awesome. Trevor says this was a nice break. Good, I'm glad, man. Yeah, there's been so much going on. Sometimes you got to just have a little fun and hang out and remember that we're all on the same team, And Kevin says, was a fun look. Glad you're back up and running. Yeah. I am too. I'm so glad to be back up and running. And Trevor says I can't answer that question. He's talking about the straw poll. You got to try, Trevor. You got to try. It's a tough one, I know. And in case you guys didn't know, let's go take a look. This is what Trevor's having difficulty with. You got to make the decision. Which one is the best? Star Wars, Star Trek, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Marvel, or DC? That's hard. But yeah, back to what we were saying. It's really good to be up and running. I can't wait for you guys to see the Basement Studio. I am super happy with it. If you've been following me, if you follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, links all down below. You've probably seen some sneak peeks of parts of it because I've been sharing some of my setups and stuff, my workbench and whatnot down there. But it's looking really, really cool. My studio rebuild series is coming along. I am working on the reveal video, and so that'll be coming. So make sure you're subscribed and have the notification bell on so you can check that out when it comes out. And then I really can't wait to start live streaming from down there. I've got a whole bunch of products that I think would be great to check out live on the air. And I just don't really have the space or what I need to do it right here at a desk. You know, some things are big, some things are lights, you know, and I can't really do it all right here and give you guys an adequate look at it. So can't wait for the studio to be up and running. Like I said, it is physically ready. We've got some wiring and some AV stuff to finish up, just because my buddy who does professional AV installs is the one who was helping me out with this, and obviously he was wrapped up very, very much in the election campaign events and all that stuff, so he was super busy. He was doing me a favor. I get it. So he's gonna be over hopefully this week and get that going, so that'll be cool. But yeah, Trevor says I binge watch at least 3 of those. You know, so do I. But you gotta pick. And Trevor says, if you'd asked me when they were released, I would have said Lord of the Rings. It was such an epic undertaking and achievement. So like I said, I'm not just talking movies here. I'm talking about like the whole universe of it. You know, and the characters, the lore, the everything. I don't know. It's fun. But let's go ahead. Let's take a peek at our poll. This is going to be fun. I want to see what we got. We're going to check our results. Oh, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings in the lead. We got a couple votes in here. If you haven't voted, make sure to get it in here now. Especially if yours is losing, you know, you got to help there. Wow, Star Wars got no votes. Ouch. Well, that's probably because I forgot to vote. That's the one I would have done. Oh man. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, DC, Marvel said, yeah, we got a couple votes in there. So, if you guys aren't joining us live, but you're catching the replay, please do go ahead and pop in and go ahead and cast your vote on that. I always leave them live. They're just kind of a fun thing to do. Like I said, sometimes they're completely off topic. And sometimes they're about the filmmaking topic that we're talking about. And sometimes, like in this week, I thought everybody just needed a little break, a little fun reprieve. You know, whichever one you picked, maybe go watch an episode or a movie or whatever, and just enjoy yourself. You know, have a good time. Just do whatever you can to keep yourself happy these days. Kevin says, a downvote already. Somebody disliked the stream? How dare they? It says some tiny brain is jealous of your new setup. Yeah, maybe that's it. That's how I'll justify it. Or they just don't like me. I don't know. But I'm not hurt. It's okay. But if you do like me and you do like this stream, it never hurts for you guys to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You know, I appreciate those as well. You know, or maybe I just, you know, bored you for the last, you know, 49 minutes, and for some reason you're still here. You can downvote me, but thanks for sticking around. There you go. Yeah, Troy's saying, wow, Harry Potter got nothing. Well, you know, we only had a couple people votes in there. If we let it keep running, I'm sure Harry Potter will get a little bit. Let me see if I refresh. Nope, we refreshed it, and Lord of the Rings pulls even farther ahead. I really didn't expect that. That was one that I almost forgot to include. Yeah, I know, terrible, right? I'm just not a big fantasy guy. I'm much more of a sci-fi and sort of superhero guy. I never really got into the whole Lord of the Rings thing. I did see the movies. Did think they were, of course, as Trevor was saying, technical achievements, pretty awesome. Um, and yeah, but just the world is not for me. But anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping us up here. Devo Cut, good to see you, Devin. You got our votes, awesome. Um, Glad you could make it, but you just made it right at the tail end here. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. This has been fun. Good to be back on the normal day at the normal time, and it's good to see that my my setup is working. I was ready to pull my hair out last week with everything that we had going on. Trevor saying, which one do you think made more money? I'd be curious to know. The Potter movies have a ton, movies and books have made a ton of cash. That would be interesting. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. You got to think about something like Harry Potter probably made a ton of cash, but it hasn't been around nearly as long as Star Wars. So if you come from Star Wars all the way back in, 77, it's got a longer run. Has it made more? I don't know. Let's see here. Kevin says, after mentioning the downvote number, watching dropped by one. I guess we called whoever it was out, and they decided to flee. Oh, that's funny. Gosh, you gotta love the safety of anonymity of the internet, don't you? Jason's asking, what's your current NLE? I am an Adobe Premiere guy. Admittedly, yes, I'm on Mac, but I don't use Final Cut. I've been Premiere since high school, so nearly 20 years. I've been using Premiere. I have used Final Cut. I'm fully capable of it. I just really like Premiere and its integration with its entire suite of apps. And also for a long time, I was working with footage that would come from various freelancers would come in. And so there was a time when Final Cut had a lot of issues with ingesting different types of footage without certain plugins and stuff. While Premiere, you could just feed it anything. I mean, nowadays, all of that's pretty much moot because they can both pretty much take anything within a few weeks of a new codec or format. Usually they're updated. DaVinci Resolve, I have been telling myself forever that I really need to take a deep dive into. I know it's blasphemy, but I don't even do my color in Resolve, but I really, really should. So I do have Resolve, obviously, and I really need to get into it and start working on it and learning. What I need to do is go watch, I don't know if you guys follow Dave Andrade, Post Color Gear is his channel, but he's got great stuff, and he knows his Resolve. I need to watch some of his tutorials and see if I can learn a little something from him there. Devin's asking, yeah, you getting back on schedule with the live shows? Yeah, that's like I was just saying, last week we had it Saturday, but it wasn't at the right time. I had to push it back a little bit. But yes, we started on time here this week. Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be sticking to that. And if something is going to delay that or change it, I will post both on social media and on the community tab here on this channel. So make sure you're either following me on social media or subscribed here on this channel, or you know what, even better, both. But these days, if somebody needs to hire me freelance on an all-day shoot on a Saturday, obviously I kind of need to take that. So just the way the times are these days. So, but unforeseen obstacles, aside, yes, we will be back 1 p.m. Eastern time on Saturdays again. We're getting back on track, people. We're getting back on track. Kevin says your time slot is great. Makes me keep mine to an hour. My viewers thank you profusely. That's awesome. Yeah, if I can start an hour after you do, then I can hold you to your hour mark. And yeah, it works out that I'm sort of doing my thing and prepping here, but also I was in your stream on the other monitor until I had to do my little audio tweaks and make sure I wasn't like piping your live stream out again via my stream to YouTube. But yeah, so that's good. All right, let's see. Take one last sip of water. I just refreshed. Lord of the Rings is solidly pulling ahead. But anyway, guys, I hope you had fun. Like I said, we didn't go super technical this week, just kind of giving you the overview of what we've got going on here. If you do have any questions about any of this stuff more in depth, I do have some videos on some of it on my channel. But feel free to contact me in the comments below here. Or even better, if you want to reach me and get a live response, go ahead and join my Discord server. There's a link down in the description below. You can go ahead and join that. And it's a nice little group where you can chat and you can ask questions of anyone else in the group. Or if you want to ask me a question, I'll get it right away because it pops up on my phone and all that stuff. So basically, it's like your 24/7 direct hotline to me if you got any questions about anything like that. And yeah, I think that's about all I've got. Like I said, stay tuned, guys. I got a lot of cool stuff coming. Can't wait for you to see the basement studio setup. Can't wait to start putting some content out of there. And I've got some cool products and stuff that we're going to be taking a look at. And let's close out 2020 on a positive note, because I think we all need that. So let's keep the positive vibes and progress going over the next month and 3 quarters, and we'll all make it into 2021 okay. And yeah, so with those inspiring words, I'm gonna close this out, and I will see you guys next Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Take care.